There's no doubt that Tiger is one of the best, if not the best golfer to ever play the game. I see a lot of commentary about how great Tiger's swing is, and I'm sure due to both this commentary and also Tiger's amazing accomplishments, many people try to emulate how he swings the club. While there are a few key things that I think you should take from him, I'd like to do something different and point out something that you may not want to emulate. Tiger is not known for being the most accurate of drivers, and I'm sure that many of you have seen some of the crazy places he ends up having to recover from in the trees and other similar trouble. The primary thing that Tiger does that I would not recommend you do is how he, and for that matter many professionals, uses his hands and forearms to manipulate the club. Today's golf teachers commonly tell us to roll the blade open on the way back relative to the swing path to a handshake position with the toe of the club pointed up towards the sky. The swing then continues on the same line by cocking the wrist upwards and turning to the top. On the way back down, the cock is held as long as possible, released, the hands roll back to square, they continue to roll over relative to the swing path to another handshake position with the toe pointed up towards the sky, with a final recocking of the wrist upwards into the finish. I think the problem with this type of hand action is that the blade is square to the swing path for only a split second. Not only does this require a lot of timing, but even for those like Tiger who hit lots of balls, they still have difficulty timing this move consistently. If Tiger's timing is at all not spot on, all of a sudden he's hitting offline, missing the fairway, and going into trouble. One of the things I would rather have Tiger do were I to be working with him is somewhat of an opposite hand action, a counter rotation per se that would make it easier for him to hit his driver straight. As an example analogy, if I were to take a loaf of bread and throw it using the conventionally taught Tiger hand action, the conventional roll, the loaf of bread would fly end over end like that. If Tiger were to counter rotate instead of roll his hands and forearms, the loaf of bread would fly straight down the line. When you apply this type of hand action to the golf swing, you'll notice that the blade is closer to being square relative to the swing path, much longer than the common roll. Be aware that at the top of the backswing, many of the people will tell you that your club face is shut. While it is true that it is more closed than what most teachers would call square, it is approximately 45 degrees more square back to the ball. This roll is also what I believe to be one of the contributing factors to slices in the amateur golf world. If you open up the club face and in an effort to try and hit the ball far, you introduce tension into your swing from swinging too hard, it can be more difficult for the club to close back up until too late. The face ends up coming through impact still open, and it imparts a side spin on the ball that causes a slice. Do be aware that if you try this different type of hand action on the way back, it also requires a different hand action on the way back down. If you try coming back square and then do your usual move that requires that you roll the club back over, the club can come through closed and cause a hook. Make sure to practice both parts of the equation, back straight and through straight, and give yourself time to get used to it. Habits aren't always broken on an instant. I hope that this analysis has been of use to you. If you're struggling with your accuracy or would like to try something different, give this hand action a try and see if it can help with straightening out your shots and keeping you in the fairway more often.